circle so small, look like a dot. Immune to suckers, vaccinated, look like a shot. All I ever had was me, myself, and I. Extreme at times, blinded by my passion and fury. It's wilder when you think of all the weight I had to carry. In fact, it's scary when I picture my team throwing the towel, wearing in the crowd, saying I was trash from jump. But I did it from the heart, now they criticize the pump. But they... Yo, you already know what it is. Another edition of the best podcast you never heard of. Please, gentlemen, grab your microphones. You already know who I am. This is Latourus, a.k.a. Dark Skin Thanos, a.k.a. the teacher, a.k.a. the substitute teacher, a.k.a. the principal, a.k.a. the commodity, the fan effects, the person who's glad to have his parents in the building with him. We are. What? If this was a school and we was teaching, it'd be a fucked up assortment of teachers, man. I would be...
like the, Professor X.
The school for gifted.
Yeah, we pretty little fucked up though. We a bit more. We be the parody of that shit. Is that what you're talking about?
Like
experience like shit. Yeah.
Well, the Daredevil. That school was fucked up. Was it Daredevil?
Nigga, they was just blind in his school.
That's what
no, not Daredevil. The other one.
They never went to school like that.
With the red suit, whatever.
But this is about to be a fantastic show. To my right, we got
Deadpool.
No, we don't have Deadpool. We have Corey, GQ, motherfucking fresh in the building. And to the right, what's happening with you? And to the far right, we got the man of the hour, the man with the master plan, Renaissance motherfucking Juvi. How you doing, champ? Y'all gotta share that. Y'all gotta share that.
You know, staying on the path, man. Y'all gonna see it real soon. I'm just gonna keep saying that shit till it happens. And motherfuckers be like, hey, that motherfucker kept saying that shit every fucking time I seen. He kept saying he was gonna be a champion. Yeah. And there, damn it, that motherfucker did it.
I get the champion.
Yeah, I'm a producer. Died 20 years later, like Kanye boy did. Like he been saying this shit.
That's why you gotta say shit like that.
Yeah. I've been told you.
You gonna do it. You gonna do it. You gotta have it on camera. You gonna make it. You gonna make it. To the far left, we got the other man of the hour. Without much ado, we already know how
what it is, people. I just want to say, there's a lot of crazy shit going on, man. Gas prices high. Everybody talking all this shit, and y'all just go out there, man. Be the best version that y'all could be. I'm sorry about them.
And that is Jeremey, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeremey, the fucking wolf on concrete, who don't know how to go through an intro. He wants to go into his monologue. This is the new Jay Leno. He went to his fucking monologue. So the president donated $13 million to Ukraine.
And the rent is too damn high. Nigga, this nigga. Cheeseburger.
Y'all know what it is. To my immediate left.
It's your boy, Jason Ritchie, a.k.a. Golf Jason, a.k.a. Vanessa Williams, a.k.a. Send me the cash on Cash App, then vote and cash, nigga, let's go. A.k.a. Marty McHigh, a.k.a. Senor Daisy, a.k.a. Andrew P. Richard, a.k.a. Drew P. Dick, a.k.a. your favorite comedian, man.
I didn't like the emphasis that Jeremey had when he said Drew P. Dick. It bothered me. It bothered me.
That's my one, nigga.
I hate that that's my favorite one. It makes me feel weird that that's... I'm going to get that.
That man, I'm doing good, nigga. Somewhere in the world, somebody's name is Andrew P. Richard, man. Nigga, it's so many terrible names.
I am definitely getting a shirt that says Droopy Dick. The only thing is that's how I'm going to spell it. D-R-U-P-E or D-R-O-O-P. But I'm going to be droopy out here.
He said he droopy.
I'm be droopy this year, so I might just do Droopy Balls.
Droopy Balls.
But we all got a fantastic show. Anybody got any weekend recaps? Anybody do anything exciting? Anything notable?
Got jammed up in Mexico.
Talk about it. Hold on. I wish I had some sad music. That's a sad music.
I wish you had that Incredible Hulk. That thing.
Oh, listen.
I got a story to tell about this. I'm going to recap this shit. Long story short type shit. So my sponsors kind of been helping the nigga out. Go see my wife for the weekends. You know, while she out working in LA and shit. So I went out there.
Hold on. Pause. Just for people who on the social media shit. his sponsor is not some older white man who takes care of younger black men. Go ahead.
I need to chop that shit up.
So I went out there and we went to I went out there Friday night and we kicked it. I went out I didn't drive. My people drove to Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh God, here we go.
Saturday, and I was supposed to fight. I didn't fight. You know, everything didn't line up right. You know, a lot of different variables. My boy fought. He won. Did his thing. It was a good night. We did our thing. Me and my wife drove back. We didn't want to stay there, so we drove back from Tijuana to back to LA. And when we got to the first security point, I didn't have all my papers, like, cause my boy told me, yeah, I ain't need nothing. He said, just make sure you got your papers. I'm like, okay, nigga, what the fuck is your papers? You feel me? He ain't really explain. So I'm like, okay, I got my ID, my military ID. I go through the first security guard. The first security guard was like, I showed him my ID. He got asked I ain't anything else. I showed him my military ID. He's like, active duty military, not supposed to be in Mexico. You know you're not supposed to be in Mexico, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm in the International Guard. He said, active duty military, not supposed to be in Mexico. I was like, look, I ain't know that shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I said, I'm in the Indian National Guard. He said, are you active duty military? I said, I'm in the Indian National Guard. He said, are you active duty military? I said, I'm in the Indian National Guard.
Who was this?
He had my ID back. This is, I don't know.
Was he English? Was he from America?
He was talking English, but I think he was, you know, it was the border patrol people. So he gave my ID back. He shook his head, walked away. Then I kind of drove to another lane. And we got to the next security guard to leave, and then she was like, asked me if I had anything. I didn't get every military ID. I gave her my regular ID. Then Kay gave her ID, her birth certificate. Asked me if I have anything. I'm like, no, I keep some virtually. Kept looking at shit, right? Then she was like, okay, y'all in the wrong fucking line to be. Just to let you know, y'all supposed to be in this line all the way over here. We should find y'all $5,000 each person and tow the vehicle.
Damn.
What was the line?
They gave, I don't, bro. It was like it was 13 different fucking lanes, bro. You know, like when you leave in the airport, it's like this line is credit card. This line is pay only. This line credit card and pay only. This line is PayPal. This line is pay with pussy. This line slap your balls in your face and you can pay that way. This line, you know what I mean? You got all these fucking 13 different lanes. I'm like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that? First of all, I don't fucking read fucking Spanish. Everything was fucking in Spanish, so I didn't fucking know. So
you mean to tell me they didn't have abundance of signs in English?
We get out that motherfucker, bro, and fucking we get back, go to sleep, eat breakfast, and fly my ass back here on Sunday, and here I am.
There's definitely an art to storytelling that Juvi has not mastered. It was so many fucking. He should have said and then she had her hand on her gun and shit, and you know what I'm saying, we stared at each other and shit. I started to go for mine, but you know what I'm saying, the gate went up at the last minute. I said, next time, bitch.
Yeah, I'm not good at storytelling.
Was you scared?
I'm not good at storytelling, but a little bit. Like,
I would have been a lot of it scared.
Yeah, Mexican jail.
I'm about to say,
shit. That Grand County.
It was like a mix between being scared and like, who the fuck you talking to?
Yeah, well, it's like, nigga, I am international.
Yeah.
That's what it was, man. You was almost my 80s movie.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, you don't know
almost
what the
went
fuck
down.
you talking about, because I looked that shit up afterwards. I'm like, there's no fucking law or thing that say we not supposed to be there.
I wonder
but
how.
I didn't want to try him either. You feel me? I'm like, fuck it.
I'm trying to find out
I'm
now.
an National Guard, nigga.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, I'm like,
You did not negotiate with chairs. You would have been on.
That nigga did not
That nigga could have been on the ground with a gigantic Dorito bag on his face and shit. They told you I got 20 hours.
I was about to go live.
Hey, niggas not telling. Juvi's not telling.
I was about to go live.
Hey, the worst part is shit. A rough 10 grand off the rip. 5,000.
Yeah. You, how the fuck you really make me pay? I'm never coming back here.
Yeah,
But my credit can't leave.
Can't leave till you pay.
Nigga, that's a ransom. That's a ransom.
And tell your friends I told your card.
He calling back to me like, Baba.
Like, y'all gotta pay this fine, or we take y'all now not leaving, bro. I'm going live.
Yeah, what happened to the back of that
fuck that line, you better set up that GoFundMe, nigga.
Yeah,
Why you got your phone?
Oh, yeah.
We can't get that fast.
No,
They locking me up. My hand behind my back.
Hey, Mom, set up that GoFundMe. We locked up in Mexico. I'm in the army. I didn't do anything. They
GM Trump.
They've been
I'm
telling
so funny.
you know.
They gonna kill me. It's like
I'm
that real.
I'm a United States soldier. I came here to box for my country, and they.
They gonna kill me.
I'm a hero.
Somebody help.
How y'all think he went home and told the story? Hector. His name ain't Hector. He got more of a hero.
It probably was Hector though.
Hector.
That nigga is
Probably
Cesar.
was Hector.
Jose.
Two.
Cesar.
Yeah, that motherfucker said this
So
one.
I was at work and did this. This guy.
No,
I wondered if
he
his
was
head
like, he
hurt.
was like a white boy Mexican though. Like he wasn't no like real Mexican or like a nigga
White
Mexican. He was
I
like,
top
LA cop.
he's
type
more
of
so white, yeah, white boy Mexican type shit, spiky hair, light skin type Mexican nigga. Talk
He went
proper
home
English,
like he
real good.
talk shit to the
Real
motherfucking
good.
gringo
Yeah,
and
he
shit.
talk real good English.
Scared him and shit, baby. I had the gringo. He thought he was going to jail. She like, Alejandro, stop doing that. He like, it's so funny, baby. They really think they can't come here. All they gotta do is fucking know geography. It's Mexico.
Like, he was, you're not supposed to be over here in Mexico. That's how I'm not even. You feel me? That's how
That's
fuck he
all
was
right.
He's
talking.
just like,
No,
prove it,
hey,
especially if you know you
you're not
legal.
supposed to be here over here. That's probably Italian. I don't know what I'm talking about. He was over here in Mexico. He had an accent. He was fucking. You're not supposed to be over here in Mexico. You're active duty military.
Oh, I just said, man, I ain't know that shit, man. That's crazy. That's how funny it is. We really learn things good. Thanks, man. We can't go.
For one so
Yeah, next time I won't be in Mexico.
You have Instagram? I'm gonna add you. I'm gonna ask you my Instagram. You should even put some social media questions and shit, man. Y'all have being real fucking friendly.
I just want to get a job here doing Border
Oh
Patrol.
yeah. Do I gotta be Mexican and white to work here?
That shit crazy.
Did any of your courage come from your wife being right there? Cause you like, I can't bitch up.
Yeah, 'cause I had a kind of, so I was like, I'm gonna hear that.
You ain't talk to him like that.
I had to stand my ground a little bit, nigga. I couldn't bitch up.
with Mexican.
Hey, back gonna give me something. Como? You
Yeah.
just say that to him?
Okay.
Hey,
Like,
bro.
you talking to me with authority, like I'm in the National Guard.
He said you talking to me with authority.
He was trying to, you know. With
Oh, I thought you said he said that.
Verbally
That
challenging
turns
you.
on. That turns on my niceness,
You
damn.
know, man, he talking to me like, hey, you know this.
He saw something.
Yeah, I'm like.
He didn't know you was boxing, but he saw
I'm
something.
in the
I
National Guard.
had to turn into a
I'm in the
motherfucking
National
typical
Guard.
American.
I'm in
Like,
the
you must fuck
National
them American, man.
Guard.
Hey, Fox, you ought never get outside America and say that again. Nobody like America.
I never
Never say that
The
again.
thing is that
I'd be like,
after
I'm
you kill me,
Dominican.
when it make it to YouTube,
I'd have said,
somebody getting blew up.
I'd have said, where you from? You didn't know they put black people in the army and stuff so they could have slavery no more.
Yeah.
This is what they doing to us.
Like, you ain't no Mexican coming in shade too.
I'm about the best fake ID. They give me military pass and everything.
I thought of so much shit after the point, but in the moment I'm like, I really just wanted to beat his ass, so I'm trying to think of like shit like.
You went home like Trey was.
Trying to like-
Like,
know,
oh, you.
That was, I hate this household.
Yeah.
That was, I hate this house.
Like, I really don't
You
even
probably
fuck
punched
with
punched
him.
like your next sponsor.
He
You
thought
probably
it was a joke
punched
after the
whoever
moment.
you Trey with today.
I'm like, man, this shit crazy.
Well, we glad you made it.
Yeah, but
I know the only other person that's something notable this weekend was
Jeremy.
Oh, man.
oh, hell no, Jason.
He said, what I do?
I don't want to put you on there.
Nope.
You gotta tell me.
I'm like, shit.
Jeremy will tell you gotta give me everything you do.
Okay, never mind. We was at Black Circle Brewing for the Sunday show. That's what it's called. And that was the first time I did that. That's actually kind of a big show.
Where was it?
Long running. Black Circle Brewery in Broad Ripple.
They've been doing a lot of comedy shows.
They usually do that shit. Yeah, that's like because I'm finding out they got budgets, nigga, and I need to fuck with them. They got entertainment budgets, so that's why they're able to do that and pay the performers a little bit or something.
Oh, so that's really good for you, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like no whole lot of money, but it was just like the fact that they were able to pay people.
And you like
And
independent, so you like straight talking to people yourself.
He can start making you feel good about yourself. Hey, you know, it's credit. You know what I'm saying?
Piece of plate.
I always say, but it was like the
It was my first time being there.
Blessing this shit now.
It was cool. It was a good ass show.
Oh,
I felt like I always feel like I fucked up, and then people like, no, dude, you fucking killed, and I'm like, I forgot to say the nigga. No,
Is that when they offered you the cocaine?
no. You know what's funny enough that you mentioned that.
to narcos.
Right? Narking on the narc.
You wasn't here that episode you uploaded, man.
So look,
Damn.
I'm going to the green room and motherfucking, I look up and it's a sign, it's a neon sign that says, please do not do coke in the bathroom. And I was like, is this a real problem or is this like just funny?
I mean, we gotta do it in this room. Work that shit out.
But no, it seemed like a brewery that was run by Satanists potentially, but Satanists are always nice, so that's all I got.
Why do you say that though?
Black circles, pentagram.
Oh, there's no question.
You know, I know how to identify that shit at this point in my life.
You was this close to being sacrificed.
No, nigga, it was other niggas there, so I
so
was
you
like,
like
him
Illuminati.
first.
You got joined a little night.
They did hit me up on Instagram too, and I'll show you the conversation. It was very fun.
Everybody who don't know the Instagram does Illuminati does that Instagram when they are soliciting
They are
African Americans from the Midwest.
They definitely are. But it was cool shit though.
Was that your only show?
Yeah, actually it was.
How you did that?
It's kind of lightweight.
What is
It was dope though. We was getting ready for the April 30th joint, and that's the other thing. That's fucking. I just seen fucking Taps and Dolls in the news again.
Yeah, they lost the liquor.
So that's over with. For Taps and Dolls. They gonna not necessarily. They're not necessarily gonna close down. They gonna for sure kick out the owner and look for somebody else.
Well, if we all put in our allowances.
And it's so it's I mean, they could keep it going and just change the whole vibe and shit. And be exclusive because they got a whole lot of fighting and shit down. They try to attribute it to them, but
and it's crazy because the police station right there.
I'm like,
as we discussed last week.
Yeah, they want the money, but no, they just don't want them ticket buyers to stand. But at least we still gonna be able to do the show. Is the point of all this? I think they got 4 months left.
I am so done giving a fuck about anything else but the show.
Yeah, that's how.
So, in all due respect, shut tapping those down and need to stop all that fucking fight.
Yeah, they do. And I wanted to do it make it a monthly thing, but this press and all this shit. I'm like, this
We might be coming in with our jagged over our head.
Yeah. Not me, man.
This shit funny. On some other shit though, we need to see what we can do, man. We need to see what kind of proposal we can together. A couple. The right bets on DraftKings. We niggas ain't got no hope no more, nigga. We passed the big time dope dealer stage. 4 of us are, and we passed the wicked jump shot stage.
It's 6 of us. If 3 of us make accurate bets and the other ones bet against it, just one off, nigga. That's how many times have you been just one off?
How many times? I'm not accusing anyone of being addicts or anything, but how much of our $1 million bets y'all think we wasted on reefer wine? I'm bullshit. I'm bullshit.
It wasn't a waste.
Yeah,
it was a lot spent.
Oh yeah, it's an investment, man.
What about me, Mark?
Hey,
He said,
he counted the millions in his head.
He like 15.
I gotta put everything in the footage.
Yeah.
Chips. There it goes.
I'll say all my draft, we ain't going to gas right now.
That's gas.
But let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
But we are about to have a fantastic show after that elongated intro. How we gonna start with the local, the LOCO news? This is something I know that's near and dear to. We're gonna let that nigga read because it's occupational hazard.
That nigga like Tiger Woods when you first opened the page.
On everything, I swear I thought that was him.
Airline from here up.
No, nigga, even with the odds. That's him when he was up there driving in circles, hiding a bitch. Go ahead though.
Do your shirt say drippy or dripping?
Dripping.
Got that at the Chinese shop. First thing he said, nigga, go ahead.
These views do not reflect my thoughts on homosexuals. I got this from Fashion Nova, faggot.
I'll get all my shit professional.
That's right. It's 40% off today too. If y'all want to get that.
No, hold on. I'll
Couple Jeremey.
These are Fashion Nova sweats. Hold on, I got some slender for them too.
They ship with laser ship, so be careful. They will not give you your shit. I was on Twitter, passing on DMs, talking about, no, these Puma. But I said, I will never shop from y'all again. They said, how come? I said, because I get my shit. They said, how come? I said, because y'all laser ship that shit. They said, what? I said, yeah. And they resent it again and shit, and they didn't have one of my items, so they refunded some of my money. But go ahead. I don't know why, man. I feel liberated. I bought a lot of shit.
Hell yeah, man. And
Jeremy be on Fashion Nova curve.
this,
I didn't even know they had them big bitches that should be fucking with where they shop.
Man, I like big bitches, small bitches.
It's like the Lane Bryant of the millennium. Go ahead.
A Kokomo man has been arrested and charged with dealing in a controlled substance resulting in a death after a woman died back in November.
Hold on real quick. Come and forget. I never get graphic tees off Fashion Nova. I never click that link, but go ahead.
Yeah, I bought a tee.
Go ahead.
Kind of wrinkly after one wear, but that first wear though was crispy.
I'm talking about that.
The graphic.
They like got some goofy ass slogan on them. Like it's always like with the what's name. It's up there.
That's right.
Put a bear on the
got
front,
some draws, but it's up there. Go ahead. God damn, I gotta stay on course. Go ahead.
All right.
Terrible teacher.
Several months of investigation led to an arrest warrant for 26-year-old DeAndre Adams. KPD said Adams was charged with dealing in a controlled substance resulting in death and dealing in a narcotic drug over 10 grams. On Monday, Indiana State Police found Adams in Logansport. He was placed under arrest, booked into the Howard County Jail with a $1 million cash only, no 10% bond. So basically, no bond.
How much you said? $1 million.
$1 million, no 10% cash only.
Oh damn.
What's that auto on? 100,000?
No, what?
$1 million.
But say 10% of the
No
bond.
cash bond.
That's really bond.
No, sure.
They made sure to put
$1
no.
million?
They put no 10% in parentheses
Yeah.
because they didn't want somebody to be like,
So you,
I got
That's
that.
okay.
Oh, we got that.
you think they not?
Right.
You think they not gonna let that shit up though? Cause I done heard that before. They eventually let them motherfuckers pay what they had to pay.
yeah, if you get a bail reduction.
I mean, but you think that shit gonna hold? That's what I'm
Oh, no, shit. I mean, it depends on what kind of evidence they really got. Like,
What you said?
for one, I don't think he committed a crime.
What?
Okay.
What was the drug? Fentanyl.
Hold on, finish the article.
Yeah,
Might say it again.
Let me see here. Nope. It just said the case remains under investigation. Anyone who wants to snitch, call this detective. But it just don't say what the drug was, but it said controlled substance. So it's either heroin or like fentanyl or like fucking oxy that was laced with fentanyl. Whatever it is, it's some shit that a bitch knew like people have died. What you say,
I
Side?
tell your man, Beavis and Buddies going to the office and shit. Going to the principal's office. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, you was doing this shit.
The whole shit. I'm in the middle.
Cut out the Fashion Nova shit like it be money bags and shit all over the shirts.
Like rainbow and shit.
No, hold on. Respect us because we do purchase garments from there. You just don't go to the motherfucking cool side. I'll stay off the cool side of Fashion Nova. I'll stay off the cool side. Hey, but listen, they do have the quote.
There was a whole article though and shit.
What was the victim, quote unquote, victim name? I think they
Shaylene Carroll.
Oh, hold on. Can you spell that, please?
Shaylene, S-H-A Lynn.
She white.
He said Carol. That's what I'm trying to see, man. It's crazy because they put in that name and it popped up right on. Yeah, she is fair skin. She dead. Oh, nigga, ain't nobody dead cute, motherfucker. You motherfucker. You sick bastard. You a horny ass nigga.
I said what?
Hold on. I'm about to stay away from this local news. Cause you a sick motherfucker, man. You a pariah. Cause listen, this is what he did last week.
Was necrophiliac.
No, you're a pariah. You trying to prey on these motherfuckers. Listen, you probably fucked dead bodies too, but listen where I'm going with this. I'm saying just last week when we talked about the gentleman who had a shootout with the police, which the officer was led out of the hospital to a standing ovation last week. You was searching for that fat girl who was stealing with her boyfriend.
This research story sometimes.
Why you do so
listen,
part?
she do you think she's beautiful?
Man, she ain't beautiful. She's fucking.
No, she's not. She's dead.
I said she was.
You keep
She was.
My point is,
I always think she is.
My point is, listen. She was 27 years old. I'm sure, and $1 million bond. listen. On a super serious note, we know that we can't. We all grew up in environments when crack was king. And I hate to do this comparison shit, but this fentanyl is like a white person's drug. A couple niggas get into it, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. They watch the elevator come down. $1 million bond, and they treat it's criminal. First off, drug dealing has always been a crime. There's always been variations of punishment depending on the hue of the dealer. We know that in the 80s, 90s, and parts of the 2000s, that crack was a government financed epidemic and snowfall has taught us. For anybody who's just not finding this out. But what I'm saying is we seen communities ravaged by this monster. We seen women who they said was beautiful at one point in time become people who you ridicule and laugh at when you see them out there just doing bad. For dope. When you see them out there just going crazy and stuff for dope, we seen how respectable mothers became terrible mothers for their children. And we just seen how a whole community or a whole generation of our people was destroyed. And all the people who went to jail, they went to jail just for dealing with drugs. It wasn't for like the results of it. You didn't go for hurting somebody, destroying their family, because we seen crack. Like she, no disrespect to Shailene Carroll, but she died by herself. She brings her children, which might be unfortunate, who gotta grow up, blah, 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 but...
Yeah, because it's cool if they don't die.
Yeah. And I don't know what the fuck that mean, but I agree.
They could keep selling them drugs.
Oh, but I'm saying, my point is, like, it was so many people dying, slow deaths in our community, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it resonated, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm so pressed to get this dope that I'm not gonna feed my son. Not because I hate him, but because I love this crack more than I love my son. So he don't get to eat. He hungry. They calling up on him in school. He can't answer a fucking question. Now everybody calling him stupid. You know what I'm saying? His focus ain't in school. So now they treat him like he's a fucking idiot. Now he's ostracized and shit. Now he don't want to go to school. Ain't no food at home. What I'm gonna do? She cracked out. I'm gonna go get some dope. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna sell dope, and that's the personification of a cycle. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand. And I'm not saying that it should be consequences for dealing fentanyl. But when it's highlighted, you going to jail forever because $1 million bond, that says forever. And this isn't the first instance. We seen this with what, Mac Miller? Which one of these famous didn't he?
Mac Miller deal.
Yeah, his deal too.
They caught the dudes that sold Michael, whatever his name was, Omar.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Mac Miller. But the same thing, if you famous or white, that like it becomes a crime to sell them drugs. Where this isn't like you force drugs on.
Are you really selling drugs? Like, am I a seller? It's like smell like vacuum cleaner. So like, you not really. It's like, hey, you know, I got some crack.
It sell itself.
Most people that get high is going to look for the high.
Several months.
So in turn, they're not a victim. So they're not a victim. So my thing is like, how do you? When are people held accountable? And I'll say this: our generation. People around my age, you a fucking weirdo if you smoke crack. Yeah. But the older generation, it was just a new high. They didn't know the pitfalls. They didn't have dare. They didn't just say no. It was just another high. It was lab rats. You know what I'm saying? So with all this awareness out here, it's hard to look at people like victims when they die from drug overdoses. While the crime, it still should be a drug selling crime. I don't think it should be what they call it when they boost it up. Enhanced, I'm sure someone's more have more pizzazz and shit, but it shouldn't be enhanced based on somebody dying as if that person is a victim. They're only a victim of their own bad decision, in my opinion.
You know the worst part is that
death. What?
They investigated this brother for months.
For what?
For this crime. They got on his tail. So when they finally arrested him, they also got him for dealing in a narcotic over 10 grams. Like they let him hang himself.
That's usually how it go though. They let you catch a couple crazy.
Like they could have just got him for the dealing and control substance resulting in death.
No, because you know they
looking for the Rico.
He's selling heroin and then he just putting that fentanyl on to make it stretch and then.
You said what now?
I say with a bond like that, like I know somebody caught a heroin bond. It was $200,000. It was just dealing, pure cash. So with just judging, well, taking a guess at it with that $1 million bond, it's definitely heroin. And him probably like let me put the fentanyl on it to stretch it to make it. You know what I'm saying? And he probably didn't do the measurements right, and she might have caught one that was more fentanyl than heroin that took a bigger hit. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying, just judging by how the bond and stuff is, and would it been an overdose?
Yeah. And looking at the obituary, which I stumbled up on,
and
I tell you, man, it's always something that should be low key funny too. A 2012 high school graduate, Shaylin, was working her way up the company ladder at Aldi, where she worked as a manager. Listen,
Aldi paying.
Listen. I'm not
everybody paying.
She was driven. She was a driven woman who planned on being a district manager for Aldi. Listen, if she had a goal, she started nothing to achieve it. I say this to say that. They better not be saying I was a fantastic truck driver in my shit and how I had plans on how I wanted to fleet. Do not introduce that as the offset the fact that I was a fucking junkie. Don't use Aldi and shit to be the motherfucking notifying factor to mitigate circumstance to say that I was a junkie. This is the part that I looked at. This the sad part. She's a mother of 2 adored children. Children that she adored. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
But
inspired Jesus.
Listen, this is the part that really bothers me. She left. She had a fiance named Brandon Johns. That's the most egregious part. Because I wonder if Brandon knew that he was fucking a dope fiend. Hear me out. How are you, and this is like this, it's so many things you gotta protect your girl from. Because now you gotta ask, he a dope fiend. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that you see a woman who's a dope fiend and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, and what if, hypothetically, what if he was like, hey, you had a last hit? You know what I'm saying? Is that on his conscience now? You know, that's supposed to be his.
They both worked at Aldi's?
Nah, hell no. He come over there and borrow the car and shit while she at work. Shit like that.
And she was 20. Let me see the picture again. She looked
so you think she was making the money for the drugs and they both were doing it? Or?
And I think this, you know what? I think this is her first hit.
They didn't know she was a fiend. He didn't know she was a fiend before they started fucking.
You think that's what happened?
And then
this is all speculation. This is Jeremy. What's happening? What you got next?
I'm looking at better pictures of Shaylin.
He's a sick motherfucker. He's sick. He can't help it. He cannot help it. He can't help it.
Don't investigate
When I fuck her.
Huh?
Let me see
that. First thing came to his mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you sick fucking.
Nah.
Hypothetically. I just be wanting to know.
Listen,
I want to see her.
Full disclosure, full transparency. Let's just be honest. We watch movies. We seen Pet Sematary. If you could, would you?
Hell no.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know.
I was trying to see like when you can see the fucking decline. Like, oh damn, you can see she motherfucking.
I got timeline photos of her.
Well, they posting like different shit for her shit.
This nigga in 2014 on her Facebook. He always back to 2014.
This is like her fucking family and shit.
How does that become?
That's what I'm saying. Now he posting up pictures when they had them bracelets and the skirts that motherfucking.
But I refuse to let a nigga in a flamingo pink shirt say them egregious things about me.
Egregious.
Hey, but listen, moving on.
They sold that in the guy cover too, man. It was on the other side of the
Anyway, anybody familiar with Ryan Coogler?
Yes, man. Director of Black Panther, director of Creed, director of Fruitvale Station.
Well, we know who's the head of his fan club.
I mean, I like his viewpoint, man. I like the way niggas take it.
You like Fruitvale?
Nah, I mean it was cool for what it was.
And so in Creed, what did you like about Creed?
I thought Creed. The only thing it was a few points I would have changed to Creed.
Did you bump up?
Hold on, real quick. Because you said
Creed
like,
1.
Huh? Creed 1. Yeah. What I would have changed to Creed, man. I felt that they just it didn't Rocky didn't need to be in the story. Like it should have been a totally independent story. You didn't need Sylvester Stallone, nigga. The movie is Creed. No, you didn't.
Yes, you did.
No.
You had to make the transition. You had to
No, you ain't gotta make
transition.
the transition and fucking talking.
No,
You
it's
don't
not.
need
Hold on,
Stallone.
because listen, this is the
Rocky
thing.
Then
Man.
don't get Draco.
Real quick. The reason why you have to have Sylvester Stallone because it has to look stamped. Otherwise, like a generic spinoff. So if you got him to like hand it off, and then he said he's not gonna be the next one at all.
He shouldn't be. He should have been the second one.
First off, listen. Rocky is an iconic movie and a character. If you have any chance to piggyback off that, if you ask Ryan Coogler or
Man, Rocky is a caricature of what he once was. Them
No,
fucking
not.
last fucking
no, he not.
after Mr. T.
No,
You know what I'm gonna say? After Ivan Drago. After Ivan Drago, ain't nobody
Yeah,
like
man.
motherfucking Rocky 5 when he
crazy.
was
Yeah, when
fucking
he
broke
fight
his
Tommy
knee.
gets the
Hey,
fuck.
Hey man,
I love that shit.
that shit was horrible.
That shit was
That shit
cool.
went double wood.
It was
Rocky
real.
five.
That shit was
I
realistic.
think that's the
man.
only Rocky I got.
Hold on. It was fucking realistic as hell, nigga. Cause it was like he came up, he was broke down on his luck, he a fighter. You know this shit, Juvi. He done bring this nigga up and the nigga abandoned him for the money.
Go
And
for it.
he flat and listen, Rocky is some realistic shit in the context of you in boxing. You could be on top of the world one day, rich as fuck. 5 years later, nobody remembers shit you did. Nobody give a fuck you struggling, you broke. You find that next motherfucker and you see some of yourself in him. You give all your last shot. And this motherfucker turned his back on you.
And I'm
That
glad you
is
used
the
to
most
watch it.
realistic shit. And I'm gonna tell you what's some underrated shit. The dialogue in Rocky. The dialogue in Rocky is so fucking underrated. Sylvester Stallone acting underrated in that shit, man. All the Rockies.
One and
That's
two.
why they put him on.
1 and 2. I say 1 and 2.
That's
1 and 2, the acting was good. After that, 3 was dope because Mr. T. 4 was just like a moment in time. I was like, I wasn't a big fan of 5. Fucking with 6. Huh?
Wait a minute, what you mean for? Because what you mean a moment in time?
Because it was like, you know,
Which
it was
one
in the
was
Cold
Cold?
War.
That was what did it come out, 88?
80 something, but it was on the like whole piggyback of the Cold War, us against the
I
Russians.
mean, it's right with the time.
Yeah, I said it was a moment in time. That's
But what do you
literally
mean
saying.
by it's a moment? Of course, what do you exactly do you mean by a moment in time?
It captured everything. That's why it worked.
So why is that bad?
I didn't say it was bad.
You said it's not a good movie.
Just because you capture something don't mean it's a great
Compared
movie.
to the other one.
Yeah, say that.
So you said
I didn't like 5.
What? So what
I didn't like 6.
What you said you like 1 and 2. So
1
obviously
and
you
2.
don't like no more.
Name 5 great characters better than Rocky.
Oh
make him
shit,
sit up
man.
and think.
What kind of movies you want, Juvi?
Now look.
What kind of movies you want,
I
man?
said
No,
5
no.
over
What?
there. Over there,
No, I don't want to say about better, but Rocky's definitely iconic. Go ahead.
What, you just want better iconic characters than Rocky?
He's stalling. He's stalling.
No. I'm just saying, like what do you want? No. Give me the criteria. You want 5 better characters in movies?
Yeah.
Like 5 bigger characters?
Movies.
Movies, okay. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Michael Corleone.
No, you can maybe Darth Vader, Luke.
Man, get the
Not Michael.
Not
What?
Michael.
What?
Michael.
What?
Hold on.
Every
I'm
time
not
I'm out,
talking-
they pull me back in.
I'm not talking about what you like. We said iconic. I love Michael.
Man, look.
Hold on. Michael Corleone was 2.5 movies worth of.
He said,
Because if you talk about the movie
Michael
that,
Corleone,
and that's what
The
that's.
Godfather
But that's to
himself.
that point, though. That's
Tony Montana.
No,
Yeah.
Okay,
But the
so
thing,
that's
hold on, no.
That
But
was a series, though.
those are genre. It ain't got to be no series. Those are genre specific people, though. Rocky
He
transcends
just asked for 5
so.
characters.
But no.
That's why I said pick a
First off,
genre.
this is all
Because what, you
subjective.
want some action people?
This is all.
What,
This is
what
all
would you
about
say?
preference. This is all preference. But Michael Corleone, one of my favorite characters, as is Tony Montana, as is Carlito Brigante. These are not transcendent characters in the way that Rocky is, though.
To you.
They don't. Tell me where else did they go?
Rudy.
Outside. Where else did they go? Where else did they go outside of their film series?
Nigga, where else did Rocky go until Creed 20 years later?
Don't make no
cultural
difference.
thing.
It's-
Okay, that was like trying to piggyback off the emotions of black people. Like, yo, let's do some money out these niggas.
That's the American way.
Yeah, so
But-
what if they cross over?
Hold
Nigga,
on,
white people
hold
will
on, no.
squeeze somebody anything if they can.
I'll guarantee you, if you go on Wikipedia, which is one of my favorite sites, they always ask for donations, but I don't fucking understand. I'll never donate.
You know they so factual, right? They Wikipedia.
So what?
They factual.
They factual.
Yeah.
What you mean?
I'm being facetious. They not factual.
Hold on. If you know how to fucking research, you ain't got footnotes and shit where you can go down and find the fucking references.
But if you
that's not the
donate,
point
but if
that
you
I'm making.
donate,
That's not the point that I'm making. You go to the pop culture references between Tony Montana and Rocky, and you watch what Transcendent is. Transcendent is them, Darth Vader, as you said, which is the character can be fucking go from 1977 and still be valid in 2022. Rocky is still valuable now. You've never seen Tony Montana past the 80s. You've never seen Michael Corleone past 91, 92.
They were talking about doing a remake. They talking about doing a remake. They just did a video game in 2000. All the characters came back. Like all the same people, man, came back to the movie.
But I'm not saying that they're not iconic.
What are you saying, Ty?
I'm saying that that's not shit like what you say?
Okay, my nigga.
Cultural staples.
Yeah.
I'm saying
that go outside of their genre.
Right.
Like Superman.
Listen, let me tell you what you're doing. Let me tell you what you're doing.
What he doing, man?
He comparing Biggie to Michael Jackson. That's what the fuck he's doing. He's genre specific, but he don't go.
I asked him if he want action movies or something.
Hold on. Biggie, matter of fact, because it's you. You comparing Boosie to Michael Jackson. Big, he just passed March 9th.
And Biggie only had 2 hours. Man, get off his dick.
Hey, Ryan Coogler was apprehended at a bank. Where were they at? Georgia? Georgia.
Too many other niggas to get my
Go ahead. You say what?
I will let him tell a story first.
I mean, on this part, I got to be on the bank side, man, because Ryan Coogler did
What happened?
He walks to the bank. He goes in there, and we still doing like the effects of COVID. So he walked in there with the mask up. That day he happened to wear a hat. That day he also happened to wear sunglasses. So you walk into a bank in a mask, sunglasses, and a hat, and then you ask for $12,000 with a note, and then you say, "Do it discreetly, because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to cause too much commotion." And so they call the cops and shit because they say they hit some red flags, and I'm like, that's goofy as fuck, because it's 12 grand. You was at the bank downtown Atlanta and shit, so it's not like you stopped at this little shit off some little podunk ass road. You had 2 people in the car. Like, you could have just been like, yo.
What happened when he was apprehended? So the
Shit.
police was called by the bank teller.
They said she was a pregnant black lady, but I think that was just propaganda.
No, it was true.
Yeah, she was definitely.
I believe it. And this is the thing I believe about the whole thing. I think this is a hoax. I think it's a social experiment. I think it's supposed to drum up some kind of awareness for a while. Because Jeremy's point, you come here with a fucking mask on, and we've all seen the movie. You ain't the fucking...
Hold on.
These motherfuckers are terrified when they working at banks anyway. Whether it's a woman. You hand me a fucking note, I'm gonna tremble the fuck out. What the fuck?
Who doing that?
But
exactly.
If you read the story, he filled out a withdrawal form.
Yeah,
and wrote on the back, could you count the money somewhere else? I want to do it discreetly. He handed the ID and it's a credit card.
You in the fucking bank, in the history of banking, and I've taken out that kind of money before.
You know,
not a lot. You know you want some bullshit. You don't think that's
man, the counter so high. Who the fuck you see over the counter, man? What bank you go to?
You gotta go
where you can just like see.
You can't be.
What bank can you be like, oh damn, his deposit looking nice.
Yeah, they gonna
I'm
be like,
gonna be in that bitch smiley as hell, like, hey,
every time I go into a bank, I feel like I like going in banks. Say what?
Like they go.
Don't be yelling that shit out, man, like that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like they not gonna be.
Yeah, they just.
Damn, if you balling, then you look Black Panther.
How old is this nigga?
35 and dumb.
And it's 12 grand though, like this nigga.
Yeah, like he took out 100.
Yeah, do it discreetly. That lady's probably like,
will they steal 12 grand from you?
Yeah, still $2 from you.
Do people know for you, man? That shit ain't no.
But you downtown in the bank. If you go downtown Indy, they gotta pay 12 grand out.
FTP just got shot, killed in front of Billy Gold Coast.
Yeah. But he didn't get fucking robbed leaving the bank though. Like.
This is the thing right here, though. That nigga.
It can happen though.
Lifestyle. That nigga living. You can't compare that nigga to fucking Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler in the script. You don't know who the fuck he is. If I went past,
who know what this nigga look like?
Exactly. That's
y'all know what this nigga look like, but not you. Everybody else. Y'all know what this nigga look like. He say he love this nigga, so he might know. So I mean, I'm ain't no shots. It's just like I really wouldn't be able to pick this nigga out of the crowd.
Versus shout out to Razor Ramon. But look, my point is though that he definitely was on some bullshit in my personal opinion. You got on glasses, you got on masks, you going to a bank.
You want to make a script.
You handing over a fucking note. Man, I'm telling y'all, man.
Now what happened is when Black Youngster did it, and he just went into the bank as himself and was trying to take out like 100,000.
Hold on. So she go and tell the manager, hey man, this motherfucker trying to, cause y'all gotta understand she nervous. Y'all gotta ask yourselves, if somebody hands you a fucking note, we've all seen the fucking movie.
I'm like, why are
You
you
hand
doing
them a
this?
note.
It is on a withdrawal.
She
slip,
still
though.
said-
Oh, you ain't gotta write the shit on there. The withdrawal slip got the shit you supposed to type in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Last
You put
name,
in the
first
account
name,
number
account
and route
number.
number.
He did
That's
that
all.
Give it to
and
me.
on the back.
Like,
Hold
that's
on,
kinda extra
have you
shit.
ever in your life, in the history of going to the bank,
Wrote on the back. Yes.
for what?
When I buy
What
my
did
car,
you say? What you say?
I was like, I'm taking out $11,000. Could you not count it out?
Get the fuck
On
out
my
of here.
Like, don't.
I
That's
ain't
what
never
they
said
do. Don't give it to me. They take you in a little room and give you your money. They won't give it to you at the counter if you put it on there. So when he said do it discreetly, she could have asked, do you want to go over to the private room where we hand out?
Okay,
Like,
hold on. And I'm asking you this. What color was your mask and your sunglasses?
I had no
Okay, okay. That's a big difference. Which, that's still some remarkable shit. But you come in this motherfucker with a mask on, some sunglasses, and no.
Good to know.
But look at the time, though.
What time?
Like, as they say, you got to go everywhere with a mask on.
Okay.
The part that's funny
He had to
is
give her his
it's a
ID.
withdrawal.
He gave her
slip,
the ID.
So, like,
when
when you type this shit
She
in,
went and told the
he
man.
probably had his ID. Like, damn, this nigga got his ID and it's account match.
Yeah.
Like,
Think
if
he
you
pulled
just-
shit down?
Huh?
You think he pulled shit
Oh
down?
yeah, I would imagine. I'm sure he didn't
Yeah.
just go up there,
Oh.
fucking sunglasses on. Like, ain't nobody that fucking stupid.
You don't think?
No,
He's stupid as fuck.
Is this nigga in the hood or where he at? That's
he's
what
from
I'm
Oakland too, so
Yeah,
like,
I
was just
like,
Oh, that's the hood, nigga.
yeah. So I'm like, I just don't think it's the way the media making it. It's got to be more to that shit. Like, man, like something. Like he done went in there and he was on some. Man, I ain't got my ID, but I got my Instagram photo. This me.
They should have drug tested this nigga. They should, because he got in the police car and said he was having a panic attack.
He trying to make black.
I'd have never got in a police car.
You said what?
I'd have never got in a police car.
Shit.
Like I ain't do shit. And I'm not going.
Yeah, you did enough.
That's, man, you got to fuck me up right here in this bank downtown.
Boy, so
Black
easy to
Panther
say
2 will
from
be
a
all
couch.
about it.
Boy, that's something easy to say from a couch in Indianapolis.
Shit, nigga, man, I don't be cutting these officers no slack when I'm innocent.
And this is just for anybody who haven't seen. This nigga definitely here with his fucking mask on. He's in here with his fucking mask
Yeah, I
on.
think I had his mask on.
Now why? Now listen, there's nobody around him for him to be talking about some.
I'm not even.
All that bitch was hurt.
my hand
Listen,
behind my back, bro. What's the
all
problem?
that bitch heard. Listen, all
I got
that
12
bitch.
grand.
Listen. No, shut up. All that bitch heard was, I want an unmarked bills. That's all she heard, nigga. You out here, there's nobody around for you to make that statement.
He should have submitted so easy to them cops, though, man.
You look
That
like
ain't talking tough, nigga. That's knowing your rights, nigga.
How many niggas you know got shot doing their rights?
Man, you Ryan Coogler, man. You in the bank downtown, man.
Ryan Coogler?
Drop your nuts
he
sometimes,
don't look
nigga.
like nobody.
Hell no.
He ain't dressed.
Shit, nigga, I ain't do shit. If I ain't do shit,
And
I'm
you
just not
listen,
going.
man. Listen,
Man,
first
a lot
off,
of times I gotta go.
first off, you have to have awareness where the fuck you are at. You don't have rights.
And you been black.
It's
your
an
whole life.
illusion of rights as a nigga. For two, I hate to say this shit, but you ain't with a fucking hoodie. A hoodie, a mask on, and handing a fucking
It
note.
look like this finna turn into a mask.
Now listen, just pay
I'm
attention.
trying to figure out who's
Hold
Philly.
on. Who is that's no
That's the officer.
This listen, oh yeah, that's body cam.
That's body cam.
But listen, this right here. Who is he being discreet from? Who do you not want?
I don't even know why he just didn't want to talk, man. We can talk. I can talk to y'all.
We're gonna see if we
I
get him
don't
on the
need to be in
show.
cuffs.
We're gonna see if we get him on the show.
I don't need to be in
You
cuffs.
still got his
man.
number.
He was fast.
Ryan Coogler.
I just couldn't see myself.
From one
When you told
motherfucker.
the cop, fuck you, gone
You ain't
somewhere.
gotta be saying all that. Like that's just extra.
Juicy.
But I'm not going in cuffs though. Like,
Juicy.
fuck, I'm going in cuffs for.
Juicy Smollett was sentenced.
That was so bogus, man.
And I ain't do that. I ain't do that. I hope y'all seen what just happened, nigga. That's your people. Chiracian. Or is it called, is he a cool to be Chiracian or is he?
No, he's from Cali or
He
some shit.
revoked.
I don't know nobody that know him or seen him.
Alright.
I don't know nobody that knows him or seen him. Chicago is a small ass city too, man.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it
Third
is.
largest in the country.
Man, but it's small in the sense that everybody knows somebody, nigga.
I mean, that's.
I mean, you don't know.
When you was out there slutting, of course, everybody Jeremey with the big ass. Yeah. Down the street.
Hey, man. He's a homo. When he come out on episode 304, I'm gonna be like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Look at him.
Get that mic out your mouth.
Yeah.
Listen, you looking too close to my mic. I ain't paid. I bought that mic for you to talk with, no sucker one. But look, speaking of, Jussie Smollett was given 150 days, but he had an epic
meltdown.
Do you think that was a meltdown?
Yeah, it was meltdown.
Anybody know? I don't think we gotta explain exactly what the fuck he was in there for. He's in there for fucking lying, but he says he's in there.
Everybody said he's lying when I first heard the story.
I see that shit.
Everybody said that, I think, man. Like,
Niggas was sharing that shit, man.
That nigga went out like, remember me.
He gave too hot.
I don't think nobody in Chicago believes that. There wasn't not one nigga who thought he ran into some players downtown with the news.
Especially niggas in Chicago should have knew better.
7 below getting Subway at 2 a.m.
The white boys with the news.
He got there getting them inches. By the inches y'all trying to go to Subway and get, but he was out there. He did get 150 days, which was something whopping. I can only imagine, like.
He is in Cook County though. He in GM Pop, I think, as of like 2 days ago. He was in the psych ward at first, but now he in GM Pop and shit.
Ain't it a federal case though?
Huh?
With everybody.
This is a federal.
I just know he in GM Pop, man.
Why would it be federal?
Because I'm in all these like little Chicago groups and shit. So they had his like little book and shit going from the psych ward. Now he in regular shit. So I'm like, damn, if nothing else, this nigga can say he went to Cook County and he was walking around them niggas and shit. So
look, why you get drinking dreamy eyes and shit you describing and saying?
You know the whole story too.
Nah, niggas, I'm just saying, nigga, for like.
You trying to say he got credibility because he went into Cook County jail now?
I'm trying to say that
I can see
at the
that.
next Hollywood party.
Jussie.
At the next
You
Hollywood
got the juice
party, somebody might say the wrong thing to him because he gon'
You gonna see that nigga was like,
I mean,
He got 150 days.
if I seen him and he nodded to me, I'll be like, I know you my nigga.
You opportunities here, man. I know what you would do.
Yeah, I know you.
This nigga funny.
I'll be like, hey, bro.
The Juvi. He said, you be like.
Black Power, that same fist he gave him that marks his homosexual fist. Do anybody think that he got an adequate amount of time? Do anybody think that?
I think he got too much time, man. That little bullshit.
About 3 years.
Nah, that shit game.
That shit locked his ass up longer than that.
At least a year.
Yeah.
You don't do that shit.
Nah,
I'm with you. You should have got
he
about.
go
You should have got about 4. I mean,
That's fine.
He should
I'm
have
just
got
saying,
about
no
5.
less.
He should have about 10 of them motherfuckers. Right?
He should have got.
He played with the system, man.
What could have occurred after that was, you gotta understand, it was a real sensitive time.
It was a really sensitive time, but it was such a stupid lie. It's like,
But hold on, it's
girl who cried wolf shit right
yeah,
there.
you could have got a lot of
yeah,
people
it's like the
killed.
girl who cried wolf, but it's different if the bitch cried dragon.
Man, Charles said,
If the bitch cried dragon.
He called Dragon.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, he don't want to dragon cave.
Killed, man.
It's like,
He
you can
could
cry
start a
wolf.
race war.
You can cry wolf. Wolf is believable. If you cry dragon, dragon ain't believable. Man, I'm mad at the media.
Cause they going off the real results.
I'm mad at the fucking Chicago media. I'm mad at everybody who knew off the rip it's a lie and they just decided to like get his shit some like attention and just make it more than what it is.
So they need to put that nigga on First Street. Like
That was some goofy ass shit. Like, there's more reasons for people to be going to the joint and shit. Like, he publicly humiliated, man. Let him.
Nah, he's
fuck
that. So,
that.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Here's how I feel about people who lie on it. You should get the same amount of time as the person who's gonna get convicted. So let's say he gets it all the way through, and they convict these guys, and they get 10 years. Jussie should get the same 10 years that they was facing.
I would agree with you if he had a believable story.
It doesn't matter if it's believable or
People
not.
believe
Because people fucking stupid,
Just 'cause it's not
man.
believable to
They
you.
was about to lock them dudes until they started telling.
Okay, Them two dudes, they knew when they met them two dudes, like, oh, this bullshit. These clearly not the white Trump supporters. These are bodybuilding Nigerians.
If you get in trouble for lying when it matters, you should definitely get in trouble for lying when it don't matter. You get in trouble for perjury or all that shit, nigga, you gotta get the same shit.
They sent Martha Stewart to jail for perjury in the insider trade.
I ain't agree with that shit, man.
Yeah.
He didn't perjure himself.
But
I ain't agree with that shit.
That deposition would be under oath, though.
And I'm like, man,
When did
he give a deposition?
Ryan
at
Locke.
the beginning of this whole bullshit.
Ryan Locke.
He got a statement. That's just a statement.
Ryan Locke could have started World War III. Had people blowing up fucking Ryan Locke could have started World War III.
Yeah.
You said who?
Ryan Locke could have started World War III. The fucking swimmer.
So are we talking about Ryan Locke or are we talking about Jussie Smollett?
I'm just saying, man. Like,
we not quit trying to fucking be comparative, man. We talk about this homework.
Okay, so if it's good enough for him, like, man,
that's what's wrong with niggas, man. That's how come we don't police ourselves, man. That's why we fucked up. Cause we always try to justify ourselves by what somebody else did wrong. If he did wrong, he did wrong. You can't say he got away with it, so we should get away with it. We can't go by that bullshit. He did a lot of bullshit. He should be held accountable for that.
He told a goofy ass story. The man
he told a goofy story that got a whole bunch of people fucking killed because it took off on social media and everybody bought that bullshit. That's what the fucked up part of it is. Magna country, nigga. Corey Pujols. Anybody got a beautiful article about Corey Pujols?
Man. It's the nigga.
Corey Pujols is out here definitely trying to steal all of
Junkie
dicks.
The thing about him though, man, that's
you got an article. So let's don't just go on to it. Jeremy, it's not just a conversation with a friend. They're listening.
Who's that?
They need to know what you do.
No. You need media training. You need media training.
A little bit.
Jeremy gonna sit here and try to tell me he'd be an intern at the fucking radio station. It's hard to tell him.
He was the gopher.
I did some small jobs before and shit.
Dunkin worker, this is how the Greedo title this shit. Dunkin worker gets 2 years of house arrest and they're the corporation N-word. A black restaurant worker who punched an elderly white man who later died over racial slurs has been sentenced to 2 years of house arrest.
Very simple.
Corey Pujols, no relation to Albert, 27, reached a deal with prosecutors in Tampa, Florida, and pleaded guilty to felony battery, potentially avoiding decades of jail for causing the death of Vonell Cook, 77. Pujols was working at Dunkin' Donuts in Tampa Bay on May 5th, 2021, when Cook tried to order coffee at a restaurant drive-thru. Court records say as reported by the Associated Press. But attendants couldn't hear him, and he became upset. He parked his vehicle, walked into the restaurant, and complained about his service, according to the investigators. Store employees described Cook as a regular customer who was regularly troublesome and abusive, according to the press. Pujols asked Cook to leave, and the elderly man responded with a racial slur. Pujols told Cook not to use the slur again, but he did. This time, Pujols threw a punch to the senior's jaw, knocked him to the floor where he hit his head, according to WTVT. Cook was transported to the hospital where he died 3 days later from a nigger punch. An autopsy showed Cook suffered skull fractures and brain contusion as a result of said nigger punch. Pujols was originally charged with aggravated manslaughter, which carries up to 30 years in prison for throwing the nigger punch. But prosecutors said that the plea deal that includes 200 hours of community service, no nigger punching, and anger management. Prosecutors told Tampa Bay Times that they consider a number of factors before agreeing to the plea, including Pujols' youth and his lack of intent to cause Cook's death. What's the nigger punch? We can really cut it right there, and let's just get some commentary because we are about to wrap this up.
Get back to others, nigga.
Anybody think that this was fair? Like this is a fair sentence?
Nah, she got a little bit more. Got to control herself. Like, I ain't the first time you heard a nigga. Like, I
thought he got too much jail time. Shit, man, damn.
I mean, he didn't get no jail time.
He got 2 years house arrest, man.
It was just one of them days.
2 years house arrest for accidental fight that nigga hit his head.
They could have.
I mean, real shit. That nigga, you know damn well.
Almost.
That nigga intended just to steal off his ass and be done with it. Like,
you gotta think 1 year house arrest and however much anger management and other counseling they gave him, they probably should have tripled that shit.
Ain't that like murder though?
It is.
Manslaughter, charged with manslaughter.
It's involuntary. Well, it was voluntary.
What's in the donuts at his job?
But it wasn't murder. It was
I think he was staying up that day.
I know.
You know, he already working at fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Like falling down.
Why the fuck you talking to me? Why the fuck you calling me a nigga? I'll come to this bitch at 6 o'clock in the morning and eat her donuts for y'all motherfuckers.
Time to make the donuts.
They
got socked over that shit.
Fucking days, man.
He'll grab
Yeah, but Shorty got a little bit shit though, man. So that's probably gonna fuck with him over time.
You can't assault people just because they called you something you didn't like. Nigga, that nigga,
he needs
a little time, probably.
Bro,
He can't. That was a good like. I like that.
That's why a little time nigga needed 3 days off.
What you get for involuntary manslaughter, like 2 years or something? Or 5 years? I mean, 5, 10?
That was definitely a good.
But they would have got that nigga
Just
2
can't say
days.
shit.
They would have got that nigga 2 days off. That would have never happened.
Huh?
That's not a life lesson. He did.
Yeah, he learned eternal life lessons the whole way out.
He was ready at the registration. All kind of shit. They slandered it.
So for instance, y'all say y'all relative go into a store and he get punched by a 27-year-old dude, and he get
I want justice.
and it's over a name. He just called you fucking dummy, and your father, grandfather go in there and they get the argument. He get hit and he get killed. Would a house arrest be sufficient to you? Be honest, let's don't keep up the image with house arrest.
I mean, because no, ain't no.
Why we need?
No, because
I just want a yes or no. That's all.
if it's somebody in my family, I would hope that we handle it like a different
okay,
way.
we're not talking about this.
But this nigga, don't ask me how we would handle it.
No, I'm just saying. Do you think I didn't ask you how you would handle it? I said,
So
do you think?
Hold on, it's me saying no. I don't want the jail time.
Is 200 hours of community service sufficient enough for your relative getting killed by a punch for a name?
I wouldn't even care about the jail time. What a fucking hour.
I want to talk about civil and shit.
You see
Too
that?
much years, is that
No,
sufficient?
they need fucking, like I said, the time you would get for involuntary manslaughter. My 5
Is that
to 10.
sufficient to you? What about you?
No.
My point is this nigga 27 years old. What the fuck do nigger mean to him? How is he emotionally charged by a nigger?
It's the emotional charges.
He is. I mean, that's what. Hold on. That's what he reported about.
Well, yeah, but
that's the litmus for this. Him doing it. This what triggered him.
Yeah, but this
him
is
being called nigger is what triggered him. It wasn't. So how is he emotionally attached to this word to where he want to punch somebody? A 77. Hold on. I need to know what's his history of fighting. Do you fight all the time, or did you feel like you want to hit a 77-year-old man who's vulnerable? A man who you knew wasn't going to fight back. There was no fucking recourse for you punching him. It wasn't going to be an even fight. So I want to know if Corey Pujols was the type of motherfucker who hit a nigga in the mouth for disrespecting him all the time. Or was it an isolated incident where he seems one of those old, vulnerable, and weak? You know what I'm saying? So these things right here come into my mind, and this is
which could play into why he got the anger management.
This is fucking injustice, man. This nigga should have got some time. He killed somebody for a name, for calling him a name.
Yeah.
For calling him a fucking name. Had this been somebody in my family and shit, man, I would not feel like this is fucking justice. I wouldn't feel like, yeah, he got what he deserved, 200 years.
I think it's a reason why, though.
I think say this too, though, real quick. Because I just wanted just to say this shit. I don't talk this tough shit. I don't talk this gangster shit. I don't talk this I handle in street shit. But that's the kind of shit I do. Like, I do handle my fucking business. But my thing is, if it's in the court system, it's out of my fucking hands, I want this nigga to get the maximum amount of time, as Jason alluded to, that he should get for this fucking crime. Ain't no way in hell he should get no fucking 200 hours community service. When you're right is right, right is right. When wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong. I don't do this shit by color line. I, as a black person, a quote unquote black person, I don't feel no victory in this shit. Cause I don't know if he was just that type of nigga who pop off on everybody. Like, he got a history of hitting niggas who tough. If you hit tough niggas in the mouth, a tough nigga talk crazy. Corey Pujols, look, I come to him and just knock over the fucking door and say, bitch, pick him up. And he gonna look at me like I'm crazy. He don't look like he'd do me like that. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what I disrespect, man. I disrespect. He old 77, so 77. Corey born in 94. He born Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa. He's never known true, quote unquote, racism. I've had instances of where I dealt with racism, but true racism, true when they call you nigger and you sitting down and a motherfucker say, nigger, get up, and you gotta get up. nobody here did fuck with that. He definitely haven't born in 1994. So he has no emotional attachments to that fucking word. Homeboy 77. That's what?
That's how you know he meant
40s and the 40s. So I'm saying him, and he probably did mean it. You know what I'm saying? He's in the South. He used to saying the shit. Not to say that, but
my daddy saying
why in the fuck is that your? That could. It's not gonna fuck with me, and it might be because I got a fucking brain. Corey might lack a brain. Not Corey. The other Corey. CP. But it's weird to me, nigga, how niggas felt like this is some accomplishment, and it's just weird.
That shit. I think that shit was just intentional because of the optics. You know, you got a black man.
I wonder if it's a chick there working. Was he trying to show off somebody?
Like,
if a
nigga would have killed the white man, then we would have got. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna compare that shit to what a fucking white man killing a black man would have got versus a black. So they was like, fuck that. We finna skip all that shit. We finna just get this nigga like 2 weeks.
Everybody knows you don't fuck with grown niggas who work in fast food. They done clearly made
because it's a
questionable life choice.
It's the opposite.
Why they working in fast food?
Because they like, this a bad look.
Ain't no nigga working in fast food because he just want to get that money. Like, yo, I want to go work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Because if you railroad the nigga, give him 20 years or some shit, niggas gonna be like, nigga, he just said he got called niggas. That's some bullshit. Then everybody else gonna be rounded off a nigga.
He had some kind of authority.
You see what I'm saying? It was intentional.
He told the workers to go back. So he might have been like the manager.
The manager at fucking Dunkin' Donuts is like being first register at Speedway.
Yeah.
That shit all based off of how that shit was gonna look if a nigga got convicted for too much time killing a white man versus how all these other white men got off recently and during Black Lives Matter season. That's all the fuck it was gonna be. And niggas gonna start marching for no reason because he got called a nigga. That nigga probably acting like a nigga. We already just said.
He has 77 years to get his life together and stop being rude.
But you gotta think, he was born in the 40s when like that shit was.
You had 77 years to stop being disrespectful though. Like everybody ain't gonna tolerate the same.
Man, if everybody get killed though, getting called a nigga, everybody getting all niggas is dying.
I want to see these niggas. I want to see this same energy and shit when disrespect going on in the hood. That's all. You got
disrespect your family. For real. Or denying you a fucking
motherfucker man because you black nigga. I mean, I can understand you getting heated battle and shit. You on a motherfucking plantation, you worked all day and said, nigga, get one more. I can understand it then, but not you fucking. It's weird. Man. I don't know, man. It show how low level niggas is though when they feel like this is a victim. And I ain't saying like that. Definitely ain't saying you. I'm just saying I'm going through these different blogs and shit. They're like, this is not time. This. And it's weird because they feel like it's some sense of accomplishment where if it was somebody in their family, man, they wouldn't have that same fucking energy.
It's the Leon from Snowfall mentality.
But that's always different though, man. Like violence.
What you mean, Tyler?
Like you can go kill fucking 5 people, but you don't want nobody in your family getting killed. You don't be like, oh, I killed 5 people, so they killed my mother.
That's cool. That's a normal situation.
Niggas trying to be street revolutionaries, nigga. Yeah. It's not, you're not finna solve racism by knocking a nigga out because he calls you nigga.
Yeah, the old white man who ain't out here making no noise. Going to impress me. Over there and win the Ukrainian war. We are about to wrap this up. Another fantastic episode. 197 Full House again.
Sorry.
Anything y'all say in closing? Renaissance.
Man, make sure y'all check out episode 197. Make sure y'all check out episode 197 streaming on all platforms tomorrow. Available on the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go to City Nobody streaming on every platform you can possibly think of.
This nigga did the commercial, limited voice.
Yeah, Michael Machine.
Yeah, Michael Machine.
We're
not responsible for all conditions reply.
Oh, go stream the Dedicated. I just dropped a new mixtape. That shit.
Yes, sir.
Go stream that shit.
No limit, Juvi.
I got you saying this nigga Juvi don't stop.
Ding ding ding. I need like a
bad for everything. Next week. Next week, shit is on. That's definitely. I didn't even say Corey.
Yeah, tell a friend. Rest in peace, Fetty. Fall hard.
Somebody died. I'm sorry, man.
Nigga got killed yesterday. It's a dog.
Oh,
he had one eye, so we named him Fetty.
Damn, man.
Damn, though. Man, that shit still rough.
Yeah.
Like a car hit him or something?
Nah, another dog attacked us.
A dog attacked y'all?
Y'all did he? Y'all got him out of there?
Nah.
No, the dog attacked them.
Corey ran on
He
him.
died for his
I ran on
honor.
Corey ran on him.
Tell me you shot the dog.
I said,
Sacrifice.
Corey ran.
Corey talking
shot the dog.
shit.
Nah.
I'll never tell your story, Fetty. I tell him about you, Fetty, on the
You
show.
served your purpose.
Nah.
Corey killed the dog. He talking his gold and shit. Don't want to tell him about
Corey,
it.
oh, Fetty, the story. Like, when Fetty, I'm going to tell him all about
Dog, man.
Now, I went over to someone's house and I went to walk their dog, and when I stepped outside, there was another dog attacking us. So
Yeah, that's
as I hit him with a shovel,
You killed somebody's dog. You killed somebody's dog.
so I'm hitting him
Somebody
with a
asked you
shovel,
about the
but
dog.
it's a size difference. It's a Shih Tzu versus the Alaska Husky.
Yeah.
Like it was shit. I did what I could.
Motherfucker wolf.
Yes.
You ain't get no pussy that night. That was none.
Hey.
It was
How you
no-
know it was a girl house?
You said a shit suit. I don't imagine. That nigga was like, hey,
So I
dog,
don't like
my
when I
shit
walking
suit.
on niggas' dogs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you take a shit suit for me? How you know it's a girl? Like, why wouldn't it be
I got
good?
two Morkies.
That's what I'm like, nigga.
Yeah.
I got
Be
two
shy.
Morkies.
How many times you ever asked towards the walking?
We ain't gonna normalize that shit, though.
See what you did there.
You ever walked your
He's
dog?
stupid. He's stupid. But if he asked me to, I would.
Yeah, if I get in the house, he like, hey, bro, help me real quick. Not just, don't walk the
So
dog.
after the dog fucked Fatty up, we went to the vet, and he was.
What was that for Sam? You
and I called the owner
They
of
said
the
this
dog.
in like the beginning.
So I called the owner of the dog, and the dog perked up when she walked through the door, and then she laid back over and was like,
He was over down his arms. Oh, nigga delivered a dead dog.
The dog got up to say, you let this nigga kill me.
I hope she never walked.
Probably gonna like walk with you.
she, yeah.
I hope she never
You
walked.
drug me home.
Hey.
Why you pick the dog up and run, man?
Where your bites at, Corey? Your bites.
I got scratched on my hand.
Oh, you ain't diving the dog.
That nigga
knocked
running.
his face.
You a fucking police son.
Yeah.
This nigga's also on the face of quotes.
Yeah.
He might have Corey.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm in the court like you not fighting on
But they got to Jussie.
97 in court.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you wounds? It's like a sacrifice to me. At the brewery.
So if I get rich next week, you like, shit.
So let me tell you what I think happened.
Hey, what you guys say going to Jeremey?
Hold on, let me tell you the
No,
story real quick.
no,
Wait,
no,
bro,
no.
because...
I'm finna ready to smoke.
Okay, all right. So in closing, I just want to say, man, y'all be great. Stay out the way. Chase dreams, goals, not hoes.
This nigga be out here dropping this impeccable knowledge, Jason.
Hey, I just want to say thank y'all for listening. Make sure you follow at Go Jason on our social media, guys. Also, tune in to the Conceited Nobody. You can actually see a link of this week's show on everybody's page,
No, you
too.
can't. No,
You're
you
going to
can't.
see it
No, you can't.
on all 5 people's pages. So
Yeah, I
your
shared whatever you
streaming
said last week.
platform.
Because by the time you
So,
had
again,
figured that shit out, I was so high, I
guys,
forgot
make
the
sure you
instructions.
follow at Go Jason 9. We got some shows coming up soon. April 30th. Make sure you keep that open.
Jason sends me important shit.
Coming to the show, nigga. It's gonna be a good ass show. It's going down. Finally, we actualizing the dream. It's happening. We producing a show here and continue that, nigga. We gonna produce a show in Texas. It's gonna be 1 or 2 shows. They gonna film it like it's a special. My cousin. So it's coming.
Just to let all you niggas know, nigga, the link is always in my bio.
Always in our
Always in
bio.
my motherfucking bio. Y'all can check that shit out. Every motherfucking
Always. Alright.
It's on my motherfucking.
Always.
what's that thing
I put in the group chat. I said I get niggas $50 for every $25 they get for every 25 subscribers. I said I give them $25, and the Shaw shared a goofy ass video right after I put this.
You put that shit in there for real?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see it.
Hey man.
I thought you was bullshit.
Hey, I done had like a couple of
No, yeah,
people
another
subscribe.
fantastic show. Another fantastic episode of the best podcast
Girl
you've
just
ever heard
subscribed
of.
yesterday.
Conceited.
Her name Brand. She just told me.
Is this nigga lying? We'll see next week.
No, we're gonna see after the show.
That's right. Her name Brandy.
And if she lying, we're gonna beat her fat ass. Another episode of the best. I'm just playing. This is
And Brandy ain't even fat
this
too.
is okay. I apologize. We're gonna beat her lopsided ass. Another fantastic episode of the best podcast you never heard of. The Conceited Nobody. We will be back next week, next time. Catch y'all then. Nigga punching all that stuff. Like a Corey Pujols.